Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Free Marketing Gurus. Today, we've got Wesley Gehman. Hi, Wesley. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Jenny.
Absolutely. You want to give us some background information about yourself?
Oh, man. We met on LinkedIn. You're doing a LinkedIn Live, and I work with
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And I was excessive in my commenting. But I'm up here in central Pennsylvania, so we deal with a lot of truck drivers coming through our area and everything, and have a fun area there. But I have a small marketing agency I know how people know Yingling Beer. I'm like 5 minutes from where it's founded and comes to
Okay.
so, yeah. But
Yingling, you can find Wes.
What's that?
I said if you could find Yingling, you can find Wesley.
Yes. That's it's either that or if you're a hunter, everyone knows Cabela's, which is 5 minutes south.
Was that like founded by you? Because we have lots of Cabela's around us.
No, it's like it's just one of their big stores in Pennsylvania, or also the biggest cigar store is also right by Cabela's there.
Yeah. Now, are you close to Hershey Park at all?
Yeah, that's like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Really? I see TikTok is stalking me with these videos from Hershey Park with these guys that slide on their knees, and I've never seen anything like it, but it's like a Halloween something or other. It's like Fryboy and Archer, and I'm like, I don't know nothing about Fryboy and Archer.
Their Halloweens are really epic. I haven't been there in a long time, but I've seen different videos. Actually, a guy that goes to church with me, he is a roller coaster mechanic there, and he tells me about the different things they've got going on.
Very cool. Yeah. And so what is West Web? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so I mainly focused on SEO because that's what I love doing, but in general, we do web design, we do pay-per-click, we do a lot of digital marketing strategy. I avoid social media because it's not my favorite, but yeah, we focus a lot on marketing strategy, and I like to work from kind of a basis of SEO that supports whether it be your email or pay-per-click ads and things like that.
So what is your tool of pick? Like everybody's like Ahrefs and SEMrush are like the same. You pick one, or I just saw this one like Openly that's like a lot more affordable than these ones, but the same function. So what's your tool of choice?
I do like SEMrush. I'm definitely cheap in how I use it. I
like gosh, we just got so many things. Like I have SEMrush, okay. Yeah. And you can get the SEO, but then there's AI PR, there's content, there's this, there's all these things. At the end of the day, you can end up paying like $1,000 a month.
It's insane.
They also have AI SEO, and it's like $100 a domain.
Yeah. Well, and they're very smart with their marketing because they went from just targeting agencies to now they're more targeting in-house marketers. Sure. And I think that's really smart on how they do it. But I like it like having one account. And I actually have spreadsheets for all my clients where I'll regularly download their list of keyword rankings. And rather than paying excessive amounts for every client for all of them to get tracking each month, I download it and have a spreadsheet where we track it over time. And it kind of keeps a nice little picture. So that's the cheap ways of it. But on the technical side, I do love Screaming Frog still. Screaming Frog's
amazing. I used that long time ago. I started my career in digital marketing on the PPC and SEO side of things and used to do all that stuff. I don't necessarily live in that world anymore. But it's still very, very interesting. But yeah, so your tool of choice is Screaming Frog?
I think on the technical side, on the content side, it's SEMrush. Because of the keywords. Yeah.
Oh, because they tell you like, now, are you using the AI tools in SEMrush for the development of the content?
No, not really.
I looked at that and I was like, that's a lot of keyword stuffing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
do like to occasionally use like they give a certain amount of free scans, but like they're like, oh, you should write about these blog topics. I'm like, all right, I like that one. And I'll use it to grab those things. But I don't know. Sometimes it depends on if you work with a business that's like really present online, it seems like they're able to pull in good ideas. Well, if I have a contractor that hasn't posted anything, doesn't have any social media, and I'm trying to create content for them, they'll scan their site and be like, oh, they've got one article about windows and doors. We obviously are a window and door only content. They suggest all that and everything. So
yeah. So before we dive into all the SEO and especially how AI is changing or not changing SEO, let's do your icebreaker question. So if you could swap lives with any fictional character for a week, who would it be?
I thought long and hard about this, and also asked friends.
This was the important question.
Well, as you can see, there's some books behind me. I would definitely say Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, but when he's a bit younger, living in Rivendell, because then I can like start out the week, experience Rivendell, the calm, the peace, and then go on an adventure for the rest of the time.
Okay. Well, that's,
and no, I'm not going to die.
I have to admit, I have not watched Lord of the Rings. I feel like, I know. I was like embarrassed to say that, and now it's like recorded. It's going out there. Everybody's gonna come at me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I think this winter, because isn't there multiple movies?
Yes. Okay, so here's my recommendation. I joke with people that, especially as younger people, like, oh, I've never seen it. I'm like, you don't understand how much it changed television and movies and everything. I say to them, watch Reign of Fire with like Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale. And it's kind of awful and low budget looking, but it was made only like a year prior to Lord of the Rings coming out. And I say, like, watch Reign of Fire and then watch Lord of the Rings, and you will recognize that, like, oh, whoa, this I don't know, Reign of Fire is awful looking, and it's funny watching it now. Like, it's very 90s and low budget looking.
Now, does Reign of Fire have any correspondence with Lord of the Rings, or just
no? It's just for people to understand how bad CGI and
movies were before.
Yes.
Rings. Okay. And how many Lord of the Rings are there?
I wouldn't bother with the Hobbit movies. Like, they're okay.
Hobbit. I'm like writing this down. No Hobbit.
So you can watch them eventually, but they're not as good. I would say just the 3 Lord of the Rings movies, and it's way longer, but the extended editions are really good and really worth it, in my opinion. But if you're like, I don't feel like sitting down for 4 hours for one movie, don't watch the extended.
All right. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna see if I can corner my daughter and be like, "Hey, you wanna watch this?" Like, not that these have any correspondence, but she likes Coraline and like those kind of animated movies. So maybe she would kind of like this as like a next step.
She might enjoy. They came out with an animated Lord of the Rings movie last December, and now this one's controversial. Some Lord of the Rings people hate it, some people love it. I have 2 daughters, so for me, I loved it because it was very much focused around the female hero and everything. So it was really good. Yeah, I forget. Oh, the War of the Rohirrim. So she would probably like that one.
All right. Well, we're gonna look into that. We're gonna look into all of that. Now that we've covered all of the Lord of the Rings, are there any new ones coming out, or are they done?
Yes, they're supposed to come out with a The Hunt for Gollum, which is really funny because there was a YouTube fan made one made like, I think it was early 2000s, late 2000s, and it was lower budget and everything, but it was really good. It was definitely like some college kids made it, but it was really well done. And I wonder if it's going to be just a knockoff of that. But the guy that did those is doing it, so it's gonna be good. And we don't talk about the Rings of Power. It's not canon. It's not. The Rings of Power is part of it, but it's not very good.
Okay, I don't know anything about. I feel like I'm missing this whole world.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I don't have it right now, but usually on the wood behind me there is a sword. Gandalf's sword is usually mounted there, but it's
What'd you do? You take it outside to go play?
So I'm a junior high youth leader, and so I have like 12 guys that I'm in charge of in our youth group at church, and when they join our group, I knight them every year as they join us. So
fun. So it had to go to the ceremony.
And then it stays at the building at church, because then if any new guys join us, they get knighted into our group.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's very cool. All right. So we're going to switch gears and talk about SEO and AI, because this is kind of the talk of the town. Everybody's talking about like, do you need SEO anymore? Is it irrelevant? People aren't using Google and Yahoo and MSN as much to do their searches. Many people are moving over to LLMs such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Grok. I know me personally, I can't change my search engine in Chrome to ChatGPT, but I do have it open ChatGPT and I'm not using Google anymore because the first 2 pages are always ads. And I'm like, I don't want this experience. And I have this very objective new way of doing things. And, you know, the AIs have, you know, different functionalities or perform better in different areas. Like if I want to find something real time, like what's the latest, I go to Perplexity. If I'm talking strategy or process or code, I'm going to ChatGPT. If it's writing, it's Claude. If it's social media and things like that, I'm using Grok. So I'm finding that there's different strengths for different LLMs, and I'm really moving away from search. And to a lot of companies, and this kind of started for me about 6, 7. Oh, 6, 7. I got teenage kids. Of course, I say that. 6, 7 months ago or so, you know, we started to see this increase in AI. And one of my colleagues came to me and she was like, what are you doing to be found in AI? Like, are there tools out there, platforms that are monitoring this? And at the time, there really wasn't anything. And, you know, Gemini started popping up even before search engine results in Google. So like there's a whole evolution going on. So I'm so excited about this call to see what you're seeing, what people need to be thinking about as they're like looking at as AIO more important than SEO. Is it SEO and AIO are just as important, or SEO is still, you know, king? So first, what's your initial thoughts on SEO and AI?
I feel like I got a million rabbit trails I want to go down after you said all this. Well,
so much to unpack.
one quick question for you. You said about how Google has so many ads, and then you go to ChatGPT. What if ChatGPT has ads?
So here's my theory on this, Wesley. We messed up Google a long time ago with our paid ads, and it is only a matter of time till we get our little marketing pause on ChatGPT. So today I feel
We've
like
already invested in it.
But we're working on it, right? Because we're already starting to see tools that are monitoring AIO showing up in search results. Are people even searching for you in AI? Things like that. Like people want to know. So that we're starting to see more tools for that and starting to see like how to optimize for that. But you know, it's like, doesn't matter. Like if you're not in AI yet. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. I think they're both important. And I think it's only time until marketing gets its hands on ChatGPT, just like anything else, and destroys it.
Yep. I definitely agree on that end. So the funny part for me is like with AI programs, I very much look at them as search engines themselves. They are just search engines with more conversational responses. So to show up in those is very similar work and effort that you're doing to show up in search engines. So like the amount of difference is just little nuances, and that's about it in my opinion and what I've seen, because my clients are showing up in both ChatGPT and Google, and it's largely from the efforts that we've been doing. But
what tool are you using to see that?
So SEMrush does have a little tool now tracking that. But
the one that's like $100 a month for me. Yeah.
Mainly it's largely been them telling me they got leads from it. And that's what started back in like June. A lot of them were saying, hey, we got our first lead from AI, from ChatGPT.
How did they know that?
So a lot of them have forms built into their site where they ask where the lead came from or how they heard about them. And I do have quite a few medical clients, which medical is one of the top things that are searched in ChatGPT.
Sure. So everybody's like, WebMD, ChatGPT.
I got my personal trainer right here.
Personal doctor. You're the new WebMD.
Yeah. So for my one client, he's in integrative medicine, and I've worked with him for 3 years now. and he is getting a bunch. Like, I would say his SEO leads and ChatGPT leads are neck and neck. But this actually brings me to another thing. With ChatGPT and AI in general, they have about like 6 to 8% of the search market. Bing has like 12% of the search market, and then Google still has like 80%.
But I think we're starting to see evolution. I talk to a lot of people that are like, I am moving off of Google.
Yes, we are. But so I was actually in a roundtable chat the other day, and we were talking about how there will be so many old people that never move over.
Never leave Google.
So it will almost become like social media. Yeah, it'll almost become like social media where you will target older audiences on search engines. And for me personally, I've seen more B2B searches on Google. I mean, on ChatGPT. Businesses are using ChatGPT a lot, and I think that's why we're seeing it.
I think that has to do with people going like, AI is available. Everybody uses AI now. Everybody 10 times your efficiency use AI, and like so now it's like companies are like not necessarily pushing it, but like use it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, and that's one part of it where a lot of business people are seeing it. But then like for the general local searches are still very much Google. But that's the fun part is ChatGPT will slowly increase. And when I say ChatGPT, I mean all AI, but I'm just lazy.
Well, I think Google's kind of got that owned, right? Like you bring up a good point is like, I was somewhere the other day and I just opened Chrome and I'm like, restaurants near me. I like that near me thing. And I don't know if ChatGPT does that, but I like when it like opens up and the ratings and the menus and all those things. I don't think ChatGPT does that.
Yeah. Well, and ChatGPT actually gets all of their data from Bing. So if you optimize for Bing, you're more likely to show up in ChatGPT. And a lot of all the AI things are just, I say it's like little data wars that are playing in the background. And Bing does not have that well organized or maintained business profiles, while Google does. So people are more likely for local searches to go to Google. But that's like the weird little nuances. So like when ChatGPT and Bing partnered up, I pretty much for every one of my clients, I was like, hey, you already have a Bing profile and you already have Bing webmaster tools set up, but I'm just gonna go in there and make sure everything's good, organized, and they like us. So then if we show up with that,
Bing is more like relevant now.
Yes.
Because it used to be like when I did PPC back in the day, Bing was more affordable than Google, but you got more responses on Google than you did Bing.
Oh yeah.
So Bing was like this, like, I
mean, Bing, I always joke, I'm like, if you work with customers that are older, you do ads on Bing because they have it on their computer because they got Microsoft programs and don't know how to get off their computer.
Well, there are some people that are just diehard Microsoft users, right? Like I have a friend that has Microsoft and he uses Teams, and I have Google. So my calendar never tells him when I can't come to a meeting. I can never log into a Microsoft Teams meeting. I'm like, Google and Bing Microsoft do not play nice together at all. At all.
No, I'm very much a Google fan, and Bing drives me crazy. Mainly Teams slows everything down on my computer, and I'm like, what is happening?
I think Bing is for old people.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about that generationally, how people are using. My kids are more apt to open ChatGPT than they are Google. And just like they won't be seen on Facebook, and that's like my place to live, you know, they're all over the Snappity chat. Snappity chat and TikTok, right? So
and TikTok even works like a search engine sometimes, where you can look up a recipe for something and then you'll get the guide through on it.
I mean, that's where I find all my recipes and plans and like everything. And then if I want, like, for example, we were talking about local, and there's a new gym opening, and I'm super excited about it. And they have gym classes. And so I went on TikTok to find out what their gym classes were like, because there's videos from other gyms that do those sorts of classes. So like I am using TikTok to do my research, at least from a, consumer perspective. Business wise, I actually see it as like a turnoff when businesses do TikTok, because I'm like,
yep,
you're doing this, dance. I guess it's good for like culture and stuff.
I
But
did
I'm
it for like 2 weeks
search.
during COVID. 2 weeks during COVID, I made some informational videos just to experiment. I was like, all right, that was nice. I'm done.
That was a good experiment. Did you get any followers or lift from?
Yeah, I got some traction, but it was not. It was honestly a fun daily habit to talk about something SEO wise. Actually, there's a guy, Hey Tony. That's not his name, but that's the name of the channel. I love his videos because they're very similar, but have much more of a fun little catch to it. But
does he talk about SEO?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually have my team members that are new. I have them watch his videos and say a takeaway and say if they agree or disagree with him. And like, so like just in like their training, I'm like every day, take like 5 minutes, watch a couple videos, and then take 10 minutes and write takeaways and everything. Because what I found is it takes a while to stumble upon different things with my team members. And then it's like, oh, you don't know about this. Well, this prompts those things to come to the surface, and then it kind of just will widen their strategy mind, I guess, around those things. Yeah.
That's awesome. So your perspective is SEO is not going anywhere with the advancement of AI. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, but it will change.
How's it going to change?
So just like we're talking, it's going to change in the fact that you can. SEO has been strictly Google search engines. I think it'll change on the level of every platform.
There's more search engines then, right?
Yeah, every platform in some sense has a search engine developed into it, just as I think every platform in some sense is developing a social media form to it of or wants to. Google tried doing it with Google Plus, and it was a bad headache.
Google Plus. I don't remember Google Plus.
But I do think that just like, I don't know, there was a point where social medias all started looking very similar and all had a very similar feel of like, oh, now you have reels.
Well, social media used to be a part of SEO. Is it still a part of SEO?
Kind of. It depends. So this kind of comes in with that whole data sharing and everything, because when ChatGPT partnered with Bing on data, Google then partnered with Reddit last like December or November. So Reddit became a little bit more relevant again. It's always relevant, but it's kind of like everyone's ugly stepchild. And then
because Reddit always seems to be like at the root of all the conversations. Like you could find a Reddit on it, and even though people don't like it, it's got a lot of users.
Yeah. Well, and then the thing is, like, Pinterest also became relevant because Pinterest is just an image search engine. And then what we were talking about with not Snapchat. I'm having brain freeze on it. The Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. With TikTok, that one is also used as a search engine in some sense, and YouTube is also used as a video search engine.
But so social media used to be part of the domain authority. Like it used to be important for that link back to the website, but now
a little bit. Facebook has never had a huge impact on that, but it is, I would say, more so now on having that relevance on the brand mentions. And like, actually, I think in July, Google had partnered with Facebook a little bit with the.
I am not a Meta fan. There's like not a bone in my body that likes Meta.
Well, what's interesting is with Facebook is they pretty much sold like groups on Facebook are now accessible by Google. So you can do a search. So actually, let me think. Oh, okay. Where's the hurricane hitting? Hurricane
Jamaica.
Coming to Jamaica. I can search that and then go over to forums, and I can filter it by Facebook group things, and then Reddit as well. So
Is that
Google,
in Google?
yes. So
Wow.
if
I didn't even
you,
know forums was a thing in Google.
well, it used to not be that much of anything, and that's why they partnered with Facebook. That's why they partnered with Reddit. I think they've always had one with Quora, but before there
Part of
weren't.
the SEO strategy for businesses?
A little bit. So I did a fun strategy with a local contractor where I searched local school county contractor. Then I filtered it by Facebook, and I opened every single one and then just commented their business on all these different forums.
Look at
And
you.
that was in July when they made that partnership, and it was really funny because I worked with a lumber company that's local, and the lady messaged me and she's like, "All right, you commented on a forum post from 2017. What are you doing? I want to know what your strategy is." she was like, "What are you doing right now?"
It's good. Just trust me. So that's a good question. That's a good kind of segue on time. So it used to be when you were doing SEO, you would communicate. All these things are important to do now so that in 18 months you see traction. What does that,
Yeah.
what does that timeline look like now? Is it still 18 months? Is it more immediate?
I've seen it much more. It depends on the industry and competition locally. And like, if there's a business that has never done any SEO, but they've been really present on social media, it's much shorter of a timeline. And I say to most businesses, you will feel a jump within 3 months. Within my SEO process, you'll feel a jump. You'll feel the payoff after 6 months. Like you'll start like being like, oh hey, something's
It's
happening.
worth
And
it.
yeah.
It's worth it in 6 months. And that's good to know it's worth it in 6 months because it used to be like, this is important. We need to do these things. You will see no benefit for 18 months.
Oh,
Start now.
like if you're a local insurance agency, I'm like, you will probably never see it just because you're competing against State
So
Farm, you're competing
yeah,
against all these massive ones, or you'll see it, but you better be repurposing all the content we're creating into your social medias and have local events. That's better strategy.
if you had to tell a company one thing to do right now for SEO, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay, so content is still king, but behind your content, have somebody's face and voice tied to it, not just your
Oh,
business's
so like that Google Author, like WordPress, where you,
really just have it where everything that's being communicated from your business is tied to a person in some way.
see, that brings it all back to building that personal branding. It's
Mhm,
so
mhm,
important. So, like, even everything that I talk about, like your social media, build your personal brand. People connect with people, not with brands
mhm,
necessarily, right?
mhm,
Like, end of the day, it's communication and it's people talking. It's like, so you want to be a thought leader and you want to have a face and you want to be out there and you want to show that you're part of the industry and that
mhm.
you know what you're talking about and you understand challenges and you work with other people that are similar to your prospects.
Yeah,
But now from an SEO perspective, you're saying tie content to a person.
yes, and
And
to take it. What's that?
how do they do that?
So everything that you said about on the social media side, but then something as simple as having an about page with your team members, and then your team members each have a profile page on your website. And then, okay, one of the coolest strategies that I did in this past year that had like the best payoff was I picked a bunch of service pages. I gave it to my medical client and said, hey, have your doctors that are specialized in these different things give me a quote, and they gave me a quote like give me a quote like
Pages.
yeah, and we put the quote from that doctor on that page, had their picture next to it, and then had a link to their profile page that we had created
Now
on
the
their.
profile page is on the website, not like the
Yes.
LinkedIn page.
Well, on their profile page it links to their social medias, it links to
Right.
their.
You got
And
to build all the webs, right? But
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying just give them a profile page on the website.
Yes, exactly. And like we did that, you can internally just do a cool little Google form where you ask these questions and have a variety of things. Like they have a question. The guy that I work with there, he's all into it with marketing and SEO stuff. He's been doing Facebook and social media for so long that he loves what I'm doing, because he's like, oh, I'm now no longer a thought leader in Schuylkill County. I'm a thought leader in the United States. And then he's getting leads from in Ireland and things like this. And he's like, this is amazing. So
I got a question.
Okay.
SEO.
Yeah.
SEO likes links back to the website.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn doesn't like links back to the website. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn and SEO? Like, is it better to link to the website? Is there more value on the website side, getting them to the website? Or is there more value in LinkedIn showing the content and putting the link in the comment section and hoping somebody clicks on it there?
I would say LinkedIn has lost its value with its lack of control of AI content on LinkedIn. And I would also say it depends on what content you're putting out there. So if I have something I'm putting on LinkedIn where I want them to contact me, make a conversion, yeah, I'm sending them to my site, because on my website is where they make a conversion. While if they stayed on LinkedIn and just chatted with me, they're probably going to waste my time.
Right.
Not all the time. That's not all the time.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like a blog, right? A lot of B2B companies have blogs. Mm-hmm. They share it on social. They put it out there. They link to the blog because they want you to continue reading it, come back. But like I personally, sometimes I feel like we're creating content for bots, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a like, people don't have attention spans to actually read. Like, I would not write a white paper today. Nope. Like, that used to be a really big thing. But now, like, maybe some short, valuable content, sure. But if I was going to write a white paper and then, like, you know, they're still doing it, they send it to a lead page with the conversion. But, like, I don't even know if people want on the other side of the gates.
So what I like to look at is like blog content. I like looking at that as the foundational piece. And that's the main piece of content that then I can take that written content and repurpose it into a video of somebody creating a video talking about this topic, which then gets repurposed into reels, or take that written core piece of content and repurpose it into different posts on that topic. Because you could have a blog post that covers like 10 tips on transporting refrigerated freight. Sure. And each one of those tips could be a social post. Sure. And you could have a series of social posts about that topic. And then the last one's like, hey, or all of them could say, learn more about this, and link back to it. The links from social media don't have that much value. So it's really, I'd say it depends, and experimenting with it. I would always put the link in the comments, but I'm also very lazy and I just keep it right in my things. Like,
one of the challenges is you like schedule it, right? And you can't schedule the link in the comments. You have to wait till it's posted. So, I mean, LinkedIn is just one of those ones that is like, doesn't play nice with marketers.
No,
right?
Like, no, it doesn't.
Stay in LinkedIn, don't leave LinkedIn. And it really doesn't support you using it the way you want to necessarily.
Yeah. And I guess the way I use LinkedIn is very much just to stay top of mind with potential clients and existing clients, and a little bit as like an address book, keeping track of people I've made connections with. And also, I'd say I use it 50% for that. The other 50% is I follow different SEO people that I'm like, ooh, he said this. Let me test it out on my experiment site and see if it holds.
I haven't seen any SEO guys on TikTok. Now I'm like, we need more people sharing ideas and thoughts like you just had, you know.
Hey Tony. Hey Tony's on TikTok.
Well, I wrote that down. I'm gonna look up Hey Tony, and then I'm gonna send you my notes why I agree or don't agree. I'm like, all right, well, here's my homework.
And that's, I think, SEO got really inflated with a lot of people wanting to be influencers, and they're very much on Twitter. And I think, frankly, I got burned out on it because it would be going one way and the next. And then the other thing that happens is there's conflicting information on SEO because of the whole thing as marketers. It depends. If somebody is working with like really massive commercial clients, like Nike, for instance, the way you do that SEO strategy is completely different from a local shoe store. So like they'll be saying this information, or like they'll be saying SEO is dead, and it's like, well, no, it is for that kind of business. Or if restaurants contact me, I'm like, you should not do SEO. You'll basically have to make your website a local tourism site, and it just doesn't logically make sense.
So like local restaurants shouldn't do SEO?
I don't think it's worth the investment. They should do very basic SEO on get your Google business profile optimized. They should do a lot of social media, local PR, and have event marketing really would develop.
So specifically to trucking and logistics, what would be a good SEO strategy for, I don't know, maybe tell us about one of your clients. You don't have to tell us who it is. But like,
we have gotten very industry niche. We have seen major success with that, and talking about pain points in specific industries. And I don't want to talk about the industry we targeted because we're getting a ton of leads from it. Let me think of an example of one. Oh, I know one that they don't want to focus on is electronics. Why? Because electronics are high value. High value is getting robbed a lot right now. I literally wrote an article and they're like, we want to pause on anything electronics because all those trucks are getting
stolen.
But say you wanted to, you could talk about pain points in transporting it. Say you wanted to target that, say like, this is what we do to make sure it doesn't get stolen. This is what we do. And then you will probably be targeted by people, but that want to steal it. But if you write a lot of content about that, you will rank for those industries that are looking for it. Because I always use the example of like, say I wanted to sell my business. If I were to search sell my business, I'd see everyone and their brother. If I searched sell my marketing business and somebody showed up for that, I'd be like, ooh, they have what I want. Or sell my marketing business in Pennsylvania, and I saw sell my business in PA or sell my marketing business. One of those guys I'm going to go with because they actually provide what I need.
Yeah, so those long tail keywords are still important.
Oh yeah.
So you said write a lot of content about it. What is a lot of content? Like how much content should a company, because this is so funny. I remember working at TMW Systems in like 2016, and I felt like every company was just turning into a content production company. like get your own public. I mean, we had our own magazine. We were, publishing in other magazines. We were producing blogs, white papers, like you name it. We were just a content producing machine. Yep. And so back then, and I don't know if it's still the same, I never agreed with it. So because I was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing 4 blogs a week. We're just not doing that. So when you say create a lot of content, what does that mean?
Well, I will say quality trumps quantity, just because
100%.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I do love about ChatGPT existing. I felt like it just removed all the junk marketers and just anyone that's like, well, we can just turn it out this way.
Oh my gosh, some of this content is just like, are you kidding me? Like just because you tell ChatGPT to write a blog about e-commerce fulfillment does not mean that. And another thing that I don't think people realize is that these LLMs like do this like fantasizing or like,
yes,
if it doesn't know it, just make shit up. And it's like, huh?
Where'd you get that from?
Like, we have ChatGPT, we could just do it on our own now. It's like, okay.
Well, and that's why I say to clients, I'm like, I definitely use ChatGPT as a tool and AI as a tool, but I will never copy and paste directly from there.
100%. It's a great getter starter, research, even copy edit's fine. Yeah. But it's not a one and done.
It's not a one actually, and this ties, so another fun thing that I did as an experiment is if I work with a business where it's like almost like a solopreneur person, this one, he's a business coach and I develop content for him. I work closely with him. I'm one of his clients as well. So for him, I had a document with like a list of 20 questions. And I said, all right, Wayne, record yourself with Loom so that I can copy the transcript and record yourself answering all of these questions. And I took the transcript, I put it in ChatGPT, and I said, write an article only using his voice, only using the information that he provided. And it was really funny because then when I gave him the content, he forgot about it because it was summertime and things were busy.
Did he love it?
Oh, he was like, "This is
like this," because it was all his words.
Well, it's so funny because he sent me a series of 4 emails back to back. He's like, "This content's really good." It's like, "Wow, this content's creeping me out." He's like, "This content's creeping me out."
So, one thing, like a tip, if you want to like retain that, if you're not already doing it, is create a GPT of your client, and then you take their voice and tone and their writing style and like all that stuff. Give them examples of their copy that they like, which they said, like kind of like you said, with like answer these 20 questions and like capture that. I did that for a client, and he was like, "This is great. This is better than I could say it." And I was like,
They love it, especially. I love clients that have a YouTube channel that have been doing it for a while. And like, I'm getting these transcripts and putting them all in because it's going to help and tailor it that way. Yeah.
So I got to go back to the question.
Oh yes, sorry.
How much content should we be producing?
Oh, it depends.
Are we still doing like 2 blogs a week? Are we doing X amount of blogs?
Not that great. Well, it very much depends on the industry. Like,
well, we're talking about this industry, trucking and logistics.
Trucking? I would say 2 to 4 a month is good enough if it's really high quality. But like,
because length used to be like have a 1,600 word blog. I'm like, who's reading this? But anyways, well, length 2 to 4 blogs. How long?
I never go below 500 words per blog post, but it very much so. And here's a fun thing. A major like misconception in SEO is like some people sell SEO and are only doing technical SEO and they're not creating content. And the way I describe that is like that's like getting a tune-up for your car but not putting any gas in it. Because it's like, all right, technical SEO is great, but without any content on your site, it's not going to go anywhere. And this might be where the analogy falls apart, but like more content's more gas and the further you'll go. And so even when we say about like the timeline thing on like how long till SEO works, I mean, if you put a ton of content on your site, but put a huge amount, it won't take 8 months. It won't take that long amount of time. It'll take a way shorter amount of time.
Sure.
So yeah, there's so many factors with it that it's hard to like say those concrete like, oh, it should only take this long. But yeah, within trucking, it also depends on what you're writing about, because trucking, there's like a couple really good places for like Freight Waves, all those sites that have newsworthy content. But if you write about a newsworthy piece of content, you can be in that top 5 to 10 because there's not a massive amount of news style businesses on that. Sure. But you have to write quality content. So like newsworthy is nice because it's also timely. If you're writing about that, it's something that the industry is talking about, searching, but it won't work for you forever. Over time, it'll start lacking value because it's not relevant anymore. Like articles about tariffs would be really good this past year, but
hopefully not next year.
Yeah, hopefully not next
hopefully not.
give it some time and we'll see if it's worth anything later.
I have this like news scraper that like grabs all the industry news and sends it to me, and it's just Trump and tariffs, Trump and tariffs, Trump and tariffs, autonomous and robots, Trump and tariffs. Like,
what would be really good newsworthy content is how to beat tariffs, how to prepare for tariffs. If it was back before he even got elected, writing an article on how to prepare for tariffs would have knocked it out of the park and gotten a lot of traction because proactive people are looking it up. And people not in the trucking industry aren't looking up. People that are like, I produce electronics and I'm going to be impacted through this, or I'm a metal manufacturer. My metal comes from this country. Will it be impacted? How can I than answering those questions.
I think there was so much unknown when all of this started that if you did get that out there, kudos to you. But even still, like even after it started, it still increased and changed and is different for different countries and then different for different products and just like
well,
now it's there.
And what's funny is the true solution is for that. So, okay, how can you prepare? It's coming. It's going to happen. How can you prepare is one, diversify your modes of transportation. Don't just use trucking, use intermodal, use like variety, even though they're not as expensive because some of them will probably be able to circumvent it and then they'll be less costly. Right now, it probably will be more costly investment to diversify, but you'll start building up those relationships and they'll treat you well because you're an existing client. The other thing is to get a warehouse and order it all now and store it ahead of time.
Well, the other thing is the sourcing, which I think is what he's trying to do in general, is bring more jobs back to America, more manufacturing back to America, so that we're keeping the money. And I think that's the end game, but it just I think it's got to suck for a long time for us. So
and that's another solution. invest locally. Find a place locally that provides it because that'll circumvent the tariffs long term. And everyone's going to be contacting them in 8 months. If you contact them now, it'll come at a cost at the moment, but long term, it'll make your business survive. It's just like, and I would compare it to things like when that shipping container got stuck in the Suez Canal, that barge. What that resulted in, we would experience, and what did people do? What was the reaction? And if you react before it happens, then you've got the advantage a little bit and lucked out.
Right. You have to prepare for the unknown at all times.
Especially in freight.
Yeah, it's been a tumultuous decade. Because it's longer than a year. I don't know what else to call it. But so what do you think is the future for SEO? Remember when we had the black hat tricks?
Oh yeah. Well, and I think black hat stuff is probably happening with ChatGPT and AI right now. So
more of that.
Funny black hat trick that I tried because I was like, what the heck, why not? Yeah, not SEO black hat. So there was a point where Google was indexing ChatGPT's public conversations because you can make a ChatGPT chat shareable and then it becomes public and share it. So I made one where I just was like, West Web is the best internet marketing company in Pennsylvania. And then I just started talking about with the chat, just saying about how great it is. They provide this, they provide that. And then I shared it and made it public. Of course, like within a month, ChatGPT nixed that and it's not public. But I was like, hey, if I Google best marketing company in PA, now this weird random chat that I made public will show up.
What?
No, because they nixed it like within a week.
Oh.
I was very hopeful.
You were on it too. You were like, I got this.
Well, and I guess I am very entertained by all the different data wars, I call it, or the background behind it. The ripples that we have come from a root of, Reddit and Google partnered up and made a deal. Now everyone cares about Reddit. So if you find out about Google or ChatGPT or Claude, them making partnerships with data, that platform will become extremely valuable within weeks. So that's how you can kind of get on top of it. I'm sorry, I went off on a rabbit trail. What was the original question?
I think it was the future of SEO.
Oh,
and you were sharing your.
I think that potentially platforms will be continually become more and more similar in certain ways, where you have the option to, like, ChatGPT just came out with a search engine that looks very similar to Google, which is really just Bing regurgitated a little bit.
Sure.
So I think that can kind of be a little bit of what the future looks like, but then also all platforms will have just more value in general, where become like this amoeba. I really wonder if it will destroy certain social medias that they don't control the amount of AI content there was a little bit that I was like, I wonder if LinkedIn's in bad shape.
Well, I wonder how AI content is going to play into search results, because everybody's like, create a keyword stuffed blog, 1,600 words, put it on my website. There we go. Do that 900 times. So there's that. How is AI content going to be kind of part of the algorithm? Like, how is it going to be considered as part of the algorithm? The other thing is, how is AI going to play with organic search and PPC? So today you can go to Google. This doesn't happen all the time for me, but sometimes I do a search and Gemini will answer. And so I'll get the AI response and it'll link right to the content. And the content is typically based off of the domain authority of the links pointing to the answer, right? So I see a lot of media websites as part of the answer. Like if you say what's the best TMS for bulk or whatever, like the media and other high ranking websites will kind of point to like that answer. But furthermore, the Gemini response is showing up before all the PPC responses. So how
well, and it goes back and forth. And it's been interesting on some of my pay-per-click clients and that was very much when they pushed the rollout a bit more this summer. Some of them took a hit and had just way less interaction. Some of them saw much more interaction. And it's kind of like everything with Google. Google will roll out updates and be like, that didn't work. Let's switch.
Something different.
But so I think it'll very much be kind of this constant ebb and flow of trying things out. I do wonder, because like we see video results show up in Google and they push YouTube, but say down the road they partner with I don't know, say they partner more with Facebook. I could see us seeing Facebook Reels off on the right-hand side of Google as like an option for this recipe.
So now video is going to even.
I do think just because video is easier and more passive and people like to consume it. And right now, Google is very much if you're looking for a question, if you're looking for an answer, while social media is passive consumption. And I think we'll see those two merge over time, where I'm looking for an answer, but I will passively consume 15 reels going over how to make this thing and then pick the one I like the most.
Yep.
And then that will be, then I can't imagine what the algorithm for watch time, when they paused, when
Google's going to stay king or queen or whatever.
Depends on lawsuits. Depends. I think, honestly, I do think all these different AIs coming out is really good because it's making Google have to compete. And Google's been doing a lot of really good things for a long time. But like, so is Apple, for instance. Apple's been doing.
I was about to say that. I think everything at this time.
Yeah, but also if they didn't have a competitor, they would probably have gotten a little bit stagnant. I know they don't look at their competitor, that's their whole claim to fame, but they definitely do with certain things that they've been coming out with lately.
Right. Like, how are they going to compete with like DeepSeek and stuff like that?
And yeah, so I think having these competitors are good because it's making them just provide better services. But the thing the reason I think that whole concept of social will become involved is we already see personalization in Google searches and ChatGPT searches as they learn us, that their goal is to tell us what we want to hear, whether it be accurate or inaccurate. So if they can use social to back it up, then they don't have to claim to tell the truth. They can just defer to, well, this is a post on social media that lines with your view.
You 10 times.
Yes. Yeah.
7 times. Yeah. It's crazy what they can do with your data.
Yeah.
So what about PPC? What so a lot of people right now in this industry are kind of pulling back the reins on marketing. They're like, but some are like, now's the time to go, right? Like, competition is low, they're spending less, which I don't know is the truth. There's some companies that are just, they're out there. But if you can get the right long tail keywords with the right intent, then you have a good chance to get a lower cost keyword that's going to perform for you. But what are your thoughts on PPC right now?
I would say it still does depend on the industry, but I do not. So I'm very weird in how I do pay-per-click, and businesses go with me if they want to be very frugal with their ad spend. At least that's what I kind of tell them. If you want to go crazy with it, go with somebody else. But the way that I approach pay-per-click is I want as many clicks as possible to be leads. And Google is always going to tell you to spend more money kind of thing. So what we're going to do is limit it to a lower amount of money and try and get the most out of it that we possibly can. So for instance, I will hyper target on the level of doing like zip codes and doing extremely narrow exact match keywords. And we might see really low amounts of clicks, really low amounts across the board, but more conversions. And that's the end goal.
And that's really what you want at the end of it. I remember I was at TMW Systems and we sold transportation management software to fleets of 25 or more trucks. You could put it in a copy, you could put it in the landing page. There's about 250,000 fleets with less than 25 trucks, and then like 2,000 fleets with more than 25 trucks. And so you can put it everywhere for fleets of 25 or more, and they'd still click on it. So I mean, for me, I was like, I would rather allocate my dollars in like LinkedIn targeting because I can target fleets of 25 or more trucks.
Yeah.
Because like PPC, just like you said, you want your clicks to be conversions, and we'd have so many clicks and we'd have conversions, but they'd actually not be a right fit, so they could never realize revenue because we couldn't serve them.
Well, and a weird,
great.
Yeah, a weird strategy. I don't know if it still is allowed. I did this a while ago, but we had a client where they're like, they couldn't afford us. We got all these leads, but they couldn't afford us. I was like, would you care if we put the price in the ad where we say how much it costs? And they're like, oh, but no one will click on it. I'm like, that's okay. The people that click on it will actually be people we want and people that'll be leads.
We put it in there, but they still clicked on it. Yeah. Like for fleets of 20 or more, and they still clicked on it.
Well, no, I'd say how much, like, what's the lowest price you go to?
Oh, like the price to kind of eliminate.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think of what the business was. They did like large format printing for like signage at events and things. And when we put the price in, way less clicks. Great. We didn't waste our money on bad leads. And that's very much how I approach pay-per-click. And I like retargeting ads, but I don't like the cost of them. And I like those different like banner ads and all those, but I don't like the cost of them. That I'm like, if you're doing this, do not expect a return on investment. Don't expect those clicks to become leads. You're really just showing your business.
They're like awareness.
Yes, exactly.
You gotta be happy with impressions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I tell them, I'm like, if you're wanting to drum up business, let's go for the people that are ready to buy. But so pay-per-click is really interesting because I feel like it's SEO, but taking away the art form of writing and just making it a math problem.
Yeah, I get it. So what are the 2 to 3 things you would say any business in trucking or logistics should be doing right now to maintain, a digital presence in like this changing landscape?
Yeah. So this is a funny thing because I think they'll love and hate this. I think trucking industry, from the years that I've known it and been involved with it, they've been built off of like person-to-person relationships, shaking hands, meeting the person and talking to them.
Yep.
They need to start doing that online and
How do you
having
do that online? Like just LinkedIn?
Well, time back into having that about page, having videos on your website where people can actually feel like they get to know you before even contacting you. And so many people, I don't know, personally, I feel like a lot of people within the trucking industry are like, I could go to 20 networking events, shake hands, do that all day, But if you put a camera in front of me, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. And it's doing the same thing, but through a more weird video side of it. So kind of having that more personal touch on your website.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go do it. I haven't done that. It's actually been on my list, but kind of like you just said, is like, but like we're doing it right now. We're on camera right now. Just don't think about it. Just do it.
I have a video on my site. I traded services with a videographer friend of mine, and he put it together. And I've gotten so many leads where people are like, I looked at like 5 different marketing companies, but I watched your video on your homepage, and I felt like I actually got to know you, and that's why I went to you. So it works for this, and that's what you want to convey in trucking, because trucking for a long time was like the person, the sales guy that's doing the interacting was the face in that moment.
Yeah.
And then the website was just strictly professional. Everything is very professional and showing the inside of your business a little bit more, showing who you are, developing core values in your business and things like that that might have been a cheesy millennial thing at one point is now kind of like, hey, businesses want to work with people that share the same values. So let's go for it, kind of.
Yeah, I love that. So now we're at the time, even though you've shared so much insight, I'm still going to ask for the secret sauce. What is something, a tool, trick, trade, tip, something that you know have learned along the way that has helped make you successful, or something, you know, you've recently learned or heard, anything that can just, you know, help somebody be more successful in their day-to-day if they're listening to this show?
All right. So this goes for any industry, anyone that's like starting a business. Is marketing's valuable, but that face-to-face, that networking, developing those connections is more valuable than anything.
Oh,
And yeah, and I don't think that's not that much of a secret to a lot of people that have been in it for a while. But I know just in the time, and it's so funny because I'll get leads that I met the person 3 years prior, and I really see the work that I did from 2 to 3 years ago is what pays off today. And so what's been fun about that is, rather than when I started my business, I was just like, what will get me a lead tomorrow? What will grow my business right now? Because I need them. I'm now very much looking at like, okay, I'm going to do this marketing strategy. While it won't pay off today, I know 2 years down the line, we're going to have more work than we know what to do with because of that work that I'm doing right now. So, yeah.
The shows in this industry, some are like the attendance is going way down, and I'm like, I don't know, like, because we're, you know, a national industry. There are some that are up, there's some that are down, and it's just like finding the ones where you can connect with people. There's some solid ones out there for sure. But I'll tell you, like me, I'm like, I am tired of flying out every month. It is so important. It is so important. If there's any way of, you know, growing your business, it's making those connections and shaking those hands and stuff like that. So
and you don't always have to fly out. I'm definitely, I don't know, I've got 2 daughters.
I'd rather fly than drive.
Yes. Well, I've got 2 daughters, 4 and 3 years old. I want to be home. And for that, it's very much like I go to local things, or a lot of times I will just network with people I am already connected with whether it be mastermind groups, and just growing those circles of influence, those relationships. And I don't know, I think sometimes I avoid returning to networking events that I'm like, well, I just felt like everyone was there and had a salesman attitude, rather than a let's meet, let's get to know each other attitude.
I honestly send out like LinkedIn messages to people like, hey, would you be open to like 15? I think I'd probably send it to you. Like, would you be open to 15-minute conversation? Like, let's just see who we know the same, or share some insight on marketing, or
rather than that awful like cold, like you need to buy this cold calling service. And
I've got you. No, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a really great conversation. Lots of information you shared. I took notes. I'm watching Lord of the Rings, getting video on my website.
Oh, you're going to love it. It is Lord of the Rings is wonderful. You're gonna have I think it's very relaxing for the winter time and everything.
I think it'll be a good winter day and cozy up on the couch and watch a 4-hour movie, apparently. Well, if somebody wants to connect with you, how can they get in touch, Wesley?
I am very active on LinkedIn. I mean, on my website, my email, my contact form, I'm pretty open with all of it. If you connect with me on Facebook, I would not.
I would not.
I don't go on Facebook much anymore, or any of them. The only thing I really go on at this point is LinkedIn. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
That was fun.